Okay. This is all I have time for today. So no fancy YouTube video, just Google Meet screen recording. All right. So Saturday, get here between 9 and 9:15 a.m. You will check in. There will be a check-in tent. At check-in, you will get your t-shirts along with a packet of 6 cards. We're going to go over what these cards are for in a little bit. Once you check in, help yourself to bagels, butter, cream cheese, and hot coffee. Get a lay of the land, understand your cards, identify where each station is, and have your questions ready for the athlete briefing at 9:30 sharp. Questions will only be answered either before, like this week, or at the briefing. Once we get rolling, no time for questions, and you'll see why when I go over how things will flow. Okay, so these cards, I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, so in this packet of cards will be your individual team schedule. So this is team number 8, Kevin Brune and Mikey Simaluka. Heat number 2, they are at the bench press bike event, which is the Meathead's Dilemma. Then they have a break for heat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then heat number 8, they will be at Block and Drop It, which is the pulley event. Again, they will have a 5 heat break before going in heat 14. And then another 5 heat break. And then they're up again in heat 20. And then they're done, right? That's 4 events. The only event that's not included in this schedule is the tug of war. The tug of war will be a 46-person bracket, and it'll take place partly before heat 1, partly in the middle. So at like heat 12, we're going to have an intermission. And then the final 8 will probably happen at the end, after the final heat, which is, I think, heat 23 or 24. All right, so also in these cards are your scorecards. So for the Meathead's Dilemma, you will have 2 scores for this event. So just to clarify, there are 5 events, right? The bench bike event, the pulley event, the sandbag, the crosscut, and tug of war. But this event, the bike bench, has 2 scores. So on the overall leaderboard, there will be 6 scored events, all right? Of the 6, one of those scores is your bike calories. Another one of the scores is your bench press reps or the time it takes you to finish all the reps. So once you finish this workout, you will record how many calories you got on the Echo Bike, and then the total number of reps completed. If you complete all 50, you will write 50, and then you will also write your finish time. If you only completed 48 reps, you're not going to put a finish time because you were capped. So if you finished all 50 at the 2-minute and 30-second mark, you're at 50, 2-minute, 30 seconds. Then you bring this scorecard. It is your responsibility immediately after your event to bring your scorecard to the scores table where my brother-in-law Michael will be recording all the scores into a computer. You will have access to the leaderboard, to the live scoring. Nothing will really be accurate in terms of placements until the very end, because everyone's going to be completing events at different times. But we're going to give you guys access to that leaderboard. That way you can double check us and make sure we inputted it correctly. All right, so that's the Meathead's Dilemma scoring. The 2-man crosscut. So ideally, you cut all the way through, and your finish time goes in this right box. Now, if you do not finish, your score will be the depth of your cut. So we will measure how deep your cut was, and then that will be written here. If you cut all the way through, you don't need to worry about this. You just put your finish time in. If you don't cut all the way through, you don't put your finish time. You only put depth of cut. Sandy Cheeks, the sandbag event. So if you complete the event and you put the 250 or the 175-pound sandbag onto the tree stump, you will put 73 out of 73. That's how many total reps there are in the event. And then you will also put your finish time. Now, if you do not complete the event and you do not put that final sandbag on the tree stump, your score for this event will not be a time. It will be how many reps you completed. So the first part, 12 ball over post, that's 1 rep for every ball over the posts. So that'll be 12 reps total. Then you move on to the first sandbag. In the driveway, there are posts with a rope going through the posts. You have to go, down the driveway on one side, back up the driveway on the other side. There will be 6 posts that you must pass in each direction. Every post that you pass will be considered 1 rep. So if you finish the ball over the post and the first sandbag, you will have completed 24 total reps. Every sandbag you complete after that is an additional 12 reps. And then the final bag onto the stump is where you get 73 from. Now, if you get stuck, let's say on the 3rd sandbag, and you only cross 3 posts, or you only pass 3 posts, your score will then be 36 plus 3, so 39 reps. These are the types of things I want when you get here and you get your scorecard and you see the driveway. It'll be easier to understand, and that's what you do when you're getting the lay of the land and having your bagel. All right, block, and drop it, the pulley event. So your score for this event is the total pulleys in the 4-minute time cap. So you're working for the full 4 minutes. Again, remember, in order for the rep to count, your partner must be hanging from the pull-up bar. If your partner doesn't jump on in time or jumps down too early, the rep will not count. Now, the tiebreaker for this event, and this is just, to make things exciting. Tiebreakers don't always come into play, so just understand that. It's not, you don't have to dictate your strategy based on the tiebreaker, but this is the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker for this event is the number of reps completed on the first set before your partner drops from the pull bar. So your first biggest set, or not your biggest necessarily, but your first set, the number of reps will go here. And in case you tie with someone over here for the total reps, we'll go to your tiebreaker score. All right, so those are the scorecards for the 4 events. Again, the tug of war will be a 46-person bracket that will be hanging up in the yard, and you will all be able to see who you're facing. All right, now, so individual schedule. Heat 2, Heat 8, Heat 14, Heat 20. I'm going to give you a bigger picture that will hopefully give you a better understanding of that. Just have to figure out how to share a different screen. Okay. All right, so this is the master schedule. So all 4 of the main events, aside from the tug of war, will be happening simultaneously. So Heat 1 at 0 minutes. So at the start of the competition, team number 1 will be on the saw. Team number 2 will be at the pulley. Team number 3 will be in the driveway at the sandbags. And team number 4 will be in the barn doing the bench bike. There will be 3 clocks throughout the yard. 2 outside, 1 in the barn. From the middle of the yard, you'll be able to see all 3 of them. And then from anywhere you are in the yard, you should be able to see at least 1 of them. They will be on running on 24 7-minute rounds. So every 7 minutes, a new 4 teams will be at each of the stations. So the bench press event is a 5-minute time cap. The sandbag event is a 3-minute time cap. The pulley event is a 4-minute time cap. The saw event is currently a 5-minute time cap, but could potentially be cut to a 4-minute time cap. So either way, everything is under 7 minutes, and will at minimum there will be a 2-minute transition time between teams. So at 6:55, 6:56, 6:57, 6:58, 6:59, 7, the new team will start, and the clock will reset back to 0, and it'll be a new stopwatch count up to 7 minutes. So it'll be a fresh start at 0 every time. This start time is just like start time from when the competition began. But every round it'll be reset to 0. On the left-hand side of the timers, you will be able to see which heat we are on. So if we are in heat number 5, there will be a blue 5 on the left-hand side of the timer, and then the 0 to 7 count up will be on the right-hand side in red. So yeah, here's the gist of how it'll operate. Now, I did my best to ensure that Team 5 does not always follow Team 1, and Team 9 does not always follow Team 5. So notice in heat number 7, when teams 1, 2, 3, and 4 go again, team number 8 is now following team number 1. Team number 5 is now following team number 4. Now, it does happen throughout the event where you will follow the same team twice, because it was mathematically impossible to do so otherwise. But this was the best that we could do. I didn't want the same teams following the same teams around all day. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to the scorecards real quick. Actually, no. We'll just stop sharing right now, and I'm going to talk for a sec, and then we'll be done shortly. All right. So, few rules. Bench press event. The bar must touch your chest, and you must come to a full lockout at the top. Those are the only 2 rules, right? The whole competition is designed to minimize the amount of discrepancy there can be. But for that event, to keep it standard for everyone, the bar must touch your chest for every rep. You can re-rack the bar as many times as you want. You could do a set of 1 rep, rack it, take a break, 1 rep, rack it, take a break, and so forth. You could do them all unbroken, 20 reps at 135, rack it, whatever you want. But every rep, all 50, must touch your chest. Sandbag event. Bag must be carried out in front of you. It cannot be put on your shoulder. You can drop the sandbag as many times as you want down the driveway. Now, I'm going to have rubber mats out on the driveway along the way. I do request / recommend you, if you're going to drop them on a mat. 1, it'll save the life of the bag rather than dropping it on the rough asphalt. 2, it'll save your hands, because trying to get underneath the bag on the asphalt is a little more painful than getting underneath the bag on smooth rubber mat. But you can drop them wherever you want. You and your partner can switch back and forth whenever you want. Doesn't matter. But only 1 person can be touching the sandbag at a time. So you cannot hand it off to your partner. If you were going to switch, you must drop it, and your partner must then pick it up. The only time you and your partner can be touching sandbags at the same time is the partner that's not working will be allowed to rearrange the bags on either the start or finish mat to make it easier to then pick up. You cannot have your hands ready to pick it up, but you can get them in position and move them just so like you're not tripping over the next one and so forth. The saw event. I will provide cut resistant gloves that you must wear. You must wear the gloves that I give you for the saw event. For a reason. I will also provide safety glasses. You can wear your own safety glasses if you have them, but I will have safety glasses for you at that event. Those will also be required to be worn when participating in the saw event. So safety glasses and my provided gloves. What else? What's the other? The pulley event, kind of went over that. You know, the rep, in order for the rep to count, your partner must be dead hanging. That one's pretty simple. There will be a height that you must reach, so the rope will be marked. That marking must go through the pulley. Once it goes through the pulley and you can see it on the other side, you can begin lowering. You cannot just drop the kettlebell all the way down to the ground. You must control it to the ground. You can control it as fast as you want, but you have to be able to stop it before it hits the ground. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna ensure that that happens. It might be that you have to make sure the kettlebell lands upright on the ground. That's probably what will happen. The kettlebell must land upright before starting your next rep. If you drop it from the top and the kettlebell falls over, it will be a no rep. Like that rep will not count. And that's really all. Any questions that you have, anything you might be, lunch will be served following the 24th heat and during the final probably 8 or 16 of the tug of war event. So lunch will be out at that time. I expect if everyone's checked in by 9:15, we have our briefing at 9:30. Ideally, we're starting tug of war a little bit before 10. First heat goes off by 10. We're going to be done with everything. Podium, awards, prizes, right around between 2 and 2:30, I would say. 2 if everything goes seamless, 2:30 if we have a few mishaps. Any questions that you have, please send them my way this week. I will answer anything that gets sent my way. And I'm super stoked, super pumped. Hope you are too.